Hi guys, I am on Onthia's page to talk about my postpartum depression. I am Stuti Agarwal. I used to be a journalist for the longest time with the Times of India and also the Telegraph, but now I'm a mom influencer. I write about my parenting journey on Instagram, and my handle is Mombae Blogger, which goes by the spelling of MOMBAE, mom before anyone else, dot blogger. And I have two kids. One is aged 2.5 years old, and the other is 7 months old. So I am waiting. Divya, I can't see your request. Let me know when you are here. Till then, let me try some cool filters. This is my first time doing FB Live, and it's quite cool. What is this? Divya, let me know when you are online and we can speak. Hi, Deepika. Hi. Are you sending me a request? Tell me where to accept it from. I can't figure out. Hi, Deepika. Talk to me. Ask me something. Divya, why don't you ask me questions here on text while I answer? What are we doing? Hi, Nivedita. Yeah, so let's do that. I like Facebook Lives better than Instagram. It has so many options. Thank you, Divya. My pleasure to be here. Hi, Rana, Shweta. So, guys, I'll tell you about myself till then. I am a mom of two. I used to be a journalist from the very start. It has been around 17 years since I started writing. And after I became a mom, I moved to Hong Kong and then to Mumbai. And I knew I did not want to go to office, leaving my two kids behind. So I wanted to write about my parenting journey. That's what I'm doing, Divya. So I wanted to write about my parenting journey because I remembered so little of my first child. He's just 2.5 years old, but I can't seem to remember too many moments. So I thought this time I'll document it. And while documenting, why not, inspire people, because my parenting is very different. I believe in breastfeeding, I believe in co-sleeping, attachment parenting, gentle parenting, baby wearing, self-led feeding, and baby-led weaning, and so many other things. So I thought, why not just write about what you're doing, and that's what I did. So I'm on Instagram as Mombae Blogger, MOMBAE dot blogger, and I'm here to talk about my experiences with postpartum depression. So I'll just go ahead. I think that yeah. So when I became a mom, I was a very well researched person. Being a journalist, I used to research about everything. So when I was when I became a mother, I thought I would be better prepared. But no, when I became a mother, I was, I didn't know what was happening to me. Instead of being happy, I was sad, I was crying, I was irritable. I didn't know what to do with the baby. Like, if the baby cried, they put him in my hands, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. I missed my independence and so many other things. So, in pregnancy, what all we do, I mean, nowadays, just photo shoots and go out and get ready and enjoy your couple time. That's what I did. Nobody told me what else to do. In fact, when I was a journalist in Bangalore Times and I was pregnant, Divya told me about breastfeeding, as in write about breastfeeding. Divya Shuri Ratan. So she told me, right, we are having a breastfeeding week and we are doing awareness, and I shrugged the story off. And I feel so guilty, Divya. I have to tell you this. As a journalist, I did not do enough about breastfeeding. I could have, but I did not know about the issue. I didn't know. I thought that the baby will be given to me and I'll feed. There's no issue. It's natural. Nobody told me about the latching part and how you have to prepare yourself, or that the medical system will fail you. For example, they only say that, okay, you had a C-section, we gave the baby formula, and that's where the first problem starts. So the medical system fails us, and nobody told us about it. So and what you receive instead is a lot of age-old advice from your parents and your in-laws, who keep on saying that बच्चे को पेट नहीं भरता, give formula, do this, do that, give one bottle at night. फिर बेबी को डाइजेशन इश्यूज होता है, तो then they are like give janam ghutti, etc. And I knew at some level that I was doing it wrong. So I just shrugged off all the advices, and that's that peer pressure, give formula, no, give milk, no, do this, so many different advices coming in at one point led me deeper into depression. And I realized it only when I found myself crying at all times. I would just cry for no reason, like the baby in my hands. I would just cry, I'm not doing enough for you, I'm not a good mother, and I'm so sorry I'm your mother, and things like this would be coming to my mind. And she was a very breastfeeding friendly doctor. I would really suggest her. She is Dr. Shoiba Saldana. She's at Acura Hospital, Kormangla in Bangalore. So she was like, I really, really, really used to respect her even in my pregnancy. So her thing was that even if you give one drop of formula, Stuti, don't show me your face. And here people at my house were telling, give formula, do this. So I called her. I said, listen doctor, is it okay if I give my baby formula at nights? She's like, no, why? I said, I can't get through the nights, as soon as the sun sets around 6 or 7, somehow my heart sets. I feel very anxious. I get those panic attacks. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's happening, but I hate the feeling I get when the sun sets. And that, I don't think I'm a good mother, and I don't know how will I get through the night. Is it even possible to feed a baby exclusively for 6 months? So she told me, why don't you show a doctor? I think you have postpartum depression. Now this word I had read in my pregnancy, okay, but I was a happy-go-lucky person. I was always happy, enthusiastic, etc. Postpartum depression could not happen to me, so I shrugged it off. But when she told me, that's when I started reading up about it and realized that what I'm feeling is not just me. There are so many people out there and they're ready to help, and that I'm not alone, and that helped a lot. So I started taking breastfeeding more. I also told her that the baby wants to feed more at night and I don't think I'm making enough, etc. And she said that the breast milk has prolactin in the night, maximum prolactin in the night. So the baby drinks more, just as a cow's baby also drinks more at night. So all those facts, coupled with reading up about postpartum depression, really, really helped. And I stopped following a lot of advice. We Marwadis have a Japa advice for 40 days, no doing this, that, etc. It's a good thing. It gives the mother rest, etc. But, weird restrictions, put cotton in your ears, cover your head, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't look at your phone, don't look at the TV, don't talk to people, eat this, eat that, and so many other things. It just was getting to be, do not put makeup on, do not dress up. Like, what kind of advice is that? If it perks me up, why not? So I just shrugged everything off. I got back. I am not a nighty person. I can't wear a nighty. I can't move, when I sleep, I don't know what to do with the nighty. It doesn't move with me and it harms my sleep. I know I'm sounding funny, but that is a fact. So I stopped doing that. I just got back to my jeans and top. I did a photo shoot and it was very helpful. What were the first steps you took to combat postpartum depression? The first thing was to talk to my doctor, and that really helped. So I had a mild level of postpartum depression. I did not need clinical intervention. I would have showed a doctor as my doctor had advised, but before that it became much better. So I had postpartum depression for like 3 weeks. Yeah. So as I told you, I read up a lot about it, and that helped. I read up about breastfeeding. I stopped all advices of my husband stood by me, and we asked our parents to just keep quiet and not give advices on please give formula, the baby is crying, you're not feeding, this and that. It just gets to you. You're not doing enough, you're keeping the baby hungry, the baby will not grow, the baby will have jaundice and this and that. So we said that we will give our last try at breastfeeding, and we don't want any intervention. And once once it took off, the baby started latching, and we did exclusive breastfeeding, my mood became much better. So breastfeeding helps in postpartum depression because it releases certain hormones which are so important to combat postpartum depression, namely oxytocin, which is the happy hormone. So yeah, so I would say talking to my doctor, reading up, doing what I liked, uh, doing what I liked, and also being myself. It really helped. Yeah. Anything else you want me to talk about? But I would suggest it all depends on person to person. My feelings were my condition was mild, and I could come out of it by taking these steps. But some people are there who need clinical intervention, who need medication, who need antidepressants. So do not take it lightly. Do not take it lightly, and show a doctor. Thankfully my doctor advised me on phone, and that helped, and I did not need medication. And as I told you, uh, breastfeeding helped me come out of it. But I know so many people who had to go through therapy and antidepressants and other medicines to come out of it. um, so you would know your condition better, take steps, and also sensitize your family about postpartum depression. 99% women go through some levels of postpartum depression, but it is always shrugged under the chair that no, you had a baby, you should be very happy, you should just be smiling all the time, and you have no room for sadness. You had a baby, you should be the happiest person on the earth. No matter, you don't know how to take care of the baby, you don't know what to do, you don't know what to do when the baby cries, like, why are you giving it to me? I don't know what to do. So they say that if you have become a mother, that's like the biggest thing you have achieved. Now be happy. Now that is not possible all the time. You would know what you're going through, and you'll have to sensitize your family in the pregnancy itself. I told my husband about it in the pregnancy, and thankfully that's why he knew. And I also kept giving resources that this is there. It's not something made up that only I'm facing, or I'm trying to play the victim. No, this is a normal, natural thing. So please read up about it. You can give it to your parents, your in-laws, so that they know. And please, if you are a pregnant mom, please read up on breastfeeding and on postpartum depression, and on other things like why honey is harmful to your kid, etc. It will help you a lot to be prepared. Also read up on uh, birthing. For example, read up on delayed cord clamping. Why is it important? About the golden hour, about why you should let the vernix be there. For example, when the baby is born, there's that white layer on the baby, right? What many private hospitals do is just give the baby the bath, give a baby the bath the moment the baby is born, and that's such a wrong thing. Let the vernix be there. It has a lot of properties which the baby absorbs, and only give bath after 24 hours. I didn't know this or so many things when my first child was born, but for my second kid I took care. I told my hospital what I wanted from them. I told them no formula at all. I'll might not be in my senses because of C-section, but please latch the baby in the golden hour, and let me feed. And I can proudly say that my baby was born in breech candy, and she was the only kid in the ward at that time to have not got a drop of of formula. Every other kid had this, there was this timetable with when they have given formula. My baby's was blank because I was very adamant. Even nurses tried to, mislead me in my second pregnancy. Thank you. They tried to mislead me by saying your nipples are flat. and you can't feed. I said, I don't nipple feed, I breastfeed. The baby will take the areola, and I have fed my first child for 2 years. I don't think flat nipples matter, so please let me just feed it. Then she said, your baby will get jaundice if you don't feed it properly. I spoke to my gynac and she got such a big scolding, don't ask. And even my doctor's assistant, who is the right hand of my doctor, was like, you want to do what you do, but your baby is not being fed properly. I said, how would you know? The baby is peeing according to what the baby should pee, and she's latching well, she's drinking. Why do you think she's not getting enough? I don't want to fall into the formula trap. I was a very informed mother, yeah. I was a very informed mother in my second pregnancy. I wish I knew all this in my first pregnancy, and that's why I'm spreading all the information I can and awareness I can through my blog and through speaking here, so that new mothers know. You know what, I personally, whoever I know is pregnant, I personally go to their page and say, please read up on breastfeeding, can I add you to this group, that group, please read up about birthing, please read up about postpartum depression, no matter we are acquaintances or they don't even know me. That's what I do, because I aim to spread awareness. Yes, an informed decision and empowerment to the mother is the need of the hour, and that step cannot be counted. You know, when my parents and in-laws got too much, I just told them, see, you have brought up your kid, you have birthed your kid your way. Let me do it my way. I'm the mother, and I will do. Even if there are mistakes, that's mine. Even if there are praises, that are mine. So please do not interfere, and that helps so much. I don't know why, they just feel the need to give advices, and sometimes, I mean, I know that those advices are kept for are given with with only good intentions in mind and for our well-being, but some of them are age old and do not have any evidence. So please read up on, I would say, go to evidence-based groups and read up on World Health Organization's recommendations, etc., to know what to do. Thank you. I think I've spoken enough. Is there anything else? I've told my whole pregnancy story. Guys, delayed cord clamping, please know about that. Ask your gynac to only sever the clamp, the cord holding you and the baby, the umbilical cord, only after it stops throbbing. Yes, would you recommend some such sites to read? I would say go to Kelly Mom, the best source for breastfeeding. Kelly Mom, La Leche League. Then in Indian groups, you can go to Breastfeeding Support for Indian Moms. And when your baby is about to start solids, go to Traditional Weaning India. So I write about these things on my Instagram blog. It's called, if you go to Instagram and search Mombae Blogger, MOMBAE.blogger, I write about such things. I have suggested groups there. I write about gender neutral parenting and breastfeeding and baby-led weaning and self-feeding and attachment parenting, co-sleeping, so many things you'll find there. Anything else, Thea? Yeah, how you engage your two little kids, that's the difficult question. So I have two very little kids. One is a 2.5-year-old and one is a 7-month-old. And 7-month-old is quite manageable. The problem is in engaging the 2.5-year-olds. So he did not get any screen time before the lockdown, nothing. Only school, park, etc. Going to neighbor's place, going to play areas, etc. But now in the lockdown, I've started a bit of a screen because it's not possible to engage two kids all the time. Apart from that, we do a lot of playing. We do pretend plays. We were running a car today, and pretend plays. There's his ride-ons. We do play-dohs. We do puzzles. We do numbers and books, story books reading, etc. But I would say that I am I don't think I'm doing a perfect job because I have too many things in mind. Too many things on my hand. I have to take care of my baby. I have to take care of the household chores. I have to take care of my cooking. I have to take care of my vlog. So sometimes I just let him be. If he's getting bored, he will come and play with his sister, which is so heartening to see. And I let him get bored also, which is perfectly fine because that lets the creative juices come up. But of late, I have been noticing that he has been throwing some tantrums and has been having some meltdowns, which is expected. Like, how long can you keep a toddler at home? We don't have an open space to go to, as we have in the society, but it is locked for obvious reasons. How long toddlers need to be out of the home. They need their playtime, they need their school time, etc. So yeah, I'll just leave my blog link here. Natural births, home births. Do you mean home births by natural births, or do you mean vaginal birth by natural birth? Let me know what you mean by natural birth. Are you talking about home birth? Just a second. I'm leaving my my blog link here. Thank you for the pictures. See, medical system, I would say, has been failing us big time. Why? Because there's no course on breastfeeding for gynacs. They suggest whatever they know from their mothers. Only lactation counselors are equipped to give knowledge about breastfeeding. We go to our gynacs and they mislead us. Same with feeding. There's no course on feeding for pediatricians. We trust them and they suggest what they know from their mothers. Give Cerelac Gholke, give Pediasure, which is so wrong. I mean, I know that some of them also make money from these formula companies, etc. And it's so sad. It's so sad. I think there should be a course on breastfeeding for gynacs also. It's so important. And what are your views on natural birth? Medical system, I would say that I don't know what to talk about it, because I have had 2 C-sections and I went to a very renowned gynac in Mumbai who is known for her natural birth. Even my sister had a natural birth after a C-section birth. I would not call it natural births. All births are natural. I would call it a vaginal birth. Yeah. So, my sister had a vaginal, she made sure my sister had a vaginal delivery even after C-section. And everybody who goes to her generally gets a vaginal birth. I also went to her with that. She was very expensive. But I ended up having a C-section because my anatomy does not support, vaginal birth, and that's the truth. So I have spoken to many doctors, I've researched, etc. I have an android pelvis. You can search that. I go into deep research when something concerns me. So I have an android pelvis, which is a manly pelvis with the birth canal very narrow. Hi. And thank you. Yum. Very nice food. So what happens is that I went to her for vaginal delivery and she told me about my anatomy, which is so important, because otherwise I would always have this feeling that I did not do too much. I did a lot. During the whole of my 9 months of pregnancy, I exercised, I swam, I climbed upstairs, I worked out in the gym with an intention to have a vaginal birth. But when she told me and I read up about it, I realized not everyone can have that. So I would say that I went to the best of the doctors and they would do vaginal delivery. So in the first one, I went to this hospital in Bangalore, which in hindsight was very wrong, but at that point it was the best hospital, and they charged the same for the C-section and normal delivery, and we gave it thinking that they won't do it just for the money. And I ended up having a C-section because of my anatomy, and the second time too. So I could say that I don't know about the medical system, if they are doing it again now to make money. But yeah, how was your pregnancy? How was your experience during pregnancy? What support do you think you missed? During my first pregnancy, I faced a lot of issues. I was told to eat for 2, which I accepted, not doing my research, and that was my biggest mistake. I was told a lot of things, don't do too much walking, don't do climb stairs, don't do swimming, etc. And that kind of support is missing. I wish I had somebody to go to and learn, but I will see Aarti's question. Okay. And during my second pregnancy, I was very aware, very empowered, very knowledgeable, so none of that mattered. Aarti, I can't see Aarti's question. Surbhi, Divya, Rana. I can't see Aarti's question. Can she write it again, please? How did you fight it out? The postpartum depression? Talking to people who had faced the same, talking to my husband, knowing I had his support, breastfeeding, reading up, all that helped. and knowing that no mom is a bad mom, which was my thing, that I'm a bad mom. Once I came out of that feeling and knew that all mothers only do best for their kid and all mothers are good moms, it helped a lot. Any other questions? Guys, do check my blog out. It's called Mombae Blogger on Instagram, mombae.blogger, and I write about all these issues there. Basically, voicing your need out. Yes, you have to stand up for yourself and your child and voice what you need and how you need it to be done. So by the second pregnancy, people knew that I am a breastfeeding advocate and no amount of telling will do, and the feeling that, oh, she's the second time mom and she knows what to do, that thing also helped me, because nobody came to give me age old advices, and whoever did, I gave them so much of evidence and gyan that they ran away. So stand up for yourself, read out, arm yourself with knowledge. If you have knowledge, nobody can fool you or take you out on a ride. So knowledge is very important. Read up. If you're pregnant, if you've just delivered, go on to sites, recommended sites who follow World Health Organization's recommendations. Go and read. Can you share about a few tips to keep mentally healthy? See, exercise really helped me. It really helped me. Just walking and having my me time. Exercise meant that there was no kid pulling at your hair or standing up on you or trying to grab your attention. That helped, and some kind of chantings helped me. For example, I do Gayatri Mantra. So while walking, just keep your phone off and do chantings if you believe in them, or just concentrate on the flowers, on the voices here. And it's a very bad time to ask about mentally healthy, because I don't think any of us are in a good mental condition right now. But yeah, walking and me time are very important. And how do I self-care? I really need my me time. So I compromise a bit on my sleep to have my me time. When my kids are sleeping, when my husband has slept, I just write. So writing, you need to find your ikigai, which is what gives you your happiness. Writing gives me happiness. So when my kids are sleeping and my husband has slept, all I do is write, and it really helps me. It's like my vent out. And listening to music, I'm not too much of a music person, but I do listen to chants, etc. Exercise is helping me. Having my tea in peace is very important for me. Yeah, I mean, basically me time is very important. I need to read. I can't do without reading. By reading, I have stopped reading books ever since I had my kids. I don't have that kind of time, but I read up articles, and the more the knowledge, I feel better. Yeah, get your me time, very, very important. Keep help. We are in India where we can keep helps. You do not need to be a superwoman and do everything on their own. I was told by a lot of people that you can do, why do you need to keep help, etc. I was very clear of what I wanted to do. So in India, if you can afford, if you can get help, don't try to be a superwoman. Keep part-time helps. Not right now. Not right now is not the right time. But yes, do delegate work. If not, get your husband to do things. My husband helps me a lot in everything. So delegate work. You don't need to do everything yourself. You don't need to be a super cook, yoga expert, the best mom, the best blogger, or whatever you're doing, and best in everything. No, it's not important. And stop glorifying motherhood. Like when I became a mother, they would be like, you're a super mom, you can do this, you're a mom, you can do this. I mean, everything just had this thing that you're a mom. No, I don't want to do that. I am a person first, and I need my mental health, my mental space. So stop glorifying motherhood. Anything else? I think that's enough. We have spoken a lot today. So guys, if you have any questions, you can DM me. I'm more active on Instagram. What would you like to tell us, the Theans? Get your me time, read up, get on the right places to read up, form your tribe, talk to your people. It really helps. Whenever I feel lonely or something, I just pick up the phone and call a friend, which is too less nowadays, because with 2 kids you can understand. But yeah, build your community, speak to people, don't lose out on your old friends. That helps a lot. Thank you. I would also love to come back here. And if your people have any kind of questions, they can DM me. You can guide them to my account. I'll again leave it here for people who join later. They can connect with me anytime. I'm always available there. Thank you, Thea, for having me. It was great to come and speak on issues close to my heart, which is both breastfeeding and postpartum depression and, mental health and so many other things, birthing, etc. I really feel good after doing this. Thank you. Bye-bye.